Years ago, as a single mom on welfare and food stamps. Today, we are reaching 10 to 50 million people per month, every single month across all social media. The majority of people will not watch this video until the end because they'll say, what in the world can I do with marketing predictions? But if you are in the 1% who watch this video until the end, you will realize very quickly that everything I share with you has the ability to catapult your business, your life, your influence, and ultimately your fulfillment. My name is Rachel Pedersen. I'm a Minnesota mom of 3, and I'm gonna share with you today my 13 marketing predictions for the next year, and really truthfully for the next decade. So if you're watching this in 2024, 2025, you may even see that some of these things are still spot on. I'm really excited to share these 13 interesting predictions with you, including a prediction that includes Mr. Beast's YouTube coach, Daryl Eves. Oh, and by the way, if you are a part of the 1%ers who will finish this video, comment below, 1%er in the comments. Let's dive on in. All right, number 1, you need to create video. So many times business owners will come to me and say, Rachel, how do I reach my dream clients and customers? And they will say, I've tried this, I've tried webinars, I've tried this, I've tried sending emails, I've tried solo ads, I've tried, and they name a bajillion things, everything except for video. And the second I say, well, it's simple, you need to use video, they say, I will not do that. Literally, it's like this wall goes up and people say, I can't do this anymore. But here's the thing that we don't realize about video. Video is really powerful because of this beautiful mechanism called the parasocial relationship. The parasocial relationship is essentially this powerful phenomenon that occurs in our brains when we watch someone talking to us on video. So normally when we sit down for coffee or lunch with a friend, the parts of our brain that light up are indicating that we're friends with that person or that there's some know, like, and trust, there's rapport built. What we don't realize is that that same exact feeling and areas of your brain can light up from connecting with someone on video across social media. This is actually oftentimes why people feel like, oh my gosh, so-and-so influencer, so-and-so influencer, and I would be best friends. Like we could totally get along and hit it off in real life. And it's because the parasocial relationship actually tricks our brain, even if we know what's happening, to make us feel like we know, like, trust, and have a relationship with the people we're watching on video. Can you see why that would be pretty important to implement in your marketing across the board? Number 2, short video reigns supreme. I want you to think of this as like a movie trailer. So the truth is everything in the marketing landscape was moving towards long form webinars, long form emails, long form captions, long form. And suddenly, several years ago, ByteDance acquires this platform called TikTok. Well, at that point in time, it was called Musical.ly, but I digress. So basically ByteDance acquires this platform and completely revolutionizes the entire scene. What's interesting is other platforms in the past had tried to do this, including Vine, but nothing had really the sticking power and the budget to back long-term growth. So when TikTok came on the scene, it grew very, very, very quickly. Over the last 3 to 5 years, it's really and truly become one of the top platforms across the world. Sometimes it's even as high as number 1, depending on which country and demographics you're looking at. But what's really interesting is every single social media platform had their 5, 10, 20-year plans lined out, or at least drafted. Suddenly TikTok comes on the scene, and within just a few short years, it actually surpassed YouTube's overall watch time. So what's fascinating about TikTok is it is what we truly call a disruptor. This is so interesting because what it basically did was make every single other social media platform say, shoot, what are we gonna do to keep up? Which is why every single social media platform created copycat features like IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, even LinkedIn tried stories. Everyone is trying to get in on short form video because TikTok completely disrupted the scene, grabbed eyeballs, grabbed attention, and you have the ability to capture that simply by tapping into the power of short form content. Plus, it's so much faster to create. It only takes a couple of minutes to create a 15 to 60-second video and then be able to repurpose it across multiple platforms. Number 3, long form videos need to take people on a journey. For example, have you noticed that already in this video, this is so meta that I'm talking about this, but in this video, I've already been sharing with you some history of marketing and some backstory as to why these marketing predictions are so powerful. I'm sure you're actually feeling yourself go through a journey like, wow, she went from this to reaching this many people. I bet I could do it on my own scale, whether that's bigger, smaller, or ginormous compared to mine. So long form video, our goal is to take people on a journey. Think like the hero's journey in movies. If you're not familiar with the hero's journey, I could pull a book right now, but I'm not going to. Basically, Joseph Campbell created this whole concept of the hero's journey, and it's a really fascinating concept. But basically, this hero's journey is what almost every single major successful picture follows. And there are 12, sometimes people add up to 16, but there are 12 distinct phases on the hero's journey. And truth be told, that's where our marketing needs to go if we want to help to impact people. They need to see themselves in a brand's stories and journey versus them looking at the brand saying, wow, I don't see myself in that. That doesn't make any sense. Or how does this apply to me? Why should I care? We need to take people on a journey of discovery and enlightenment and excitement and education. Oh, it's so fantastic. Number 4, freebies need way more value to actually stand out. This is actually something that we started doing about a year ago, and it's been a huge game changer in our business because the truth is, we've all done this. You get really excited about watching a video from someone and you opt into, let's say, one of their freebies. And before you know it, you're like, I'm so excited to get this. You check your inbox, you're so excited. And then you get 3 super obvious, fluffy action steps that are not actually action steps, but rather like vague advice, like just do it and stuff like that. It drives us all crazy, me included. So about a year ago, we actually started auditing all of our freebies, and we're doing this process again and again and again to make sure that they're full of actual action steps, tactics, and strategies. You can see the start of that process from the freebies and resources that I have in the bio beneath this video. So you can actually check those out right now. But I want to challenge you to make sure that your freebies are packed full of value. Do not hide your best stuff behind paywalls. That does not mean you have to give everything away for free, but rather you can give everything away for free and people will still want to hire you. Question for you. Do you like coffee? Because I know I do. Let me know. Number 6, consistency is still more important than frequency. So the thing about consistency, I've been in this game of marketing and business now for about 7 years, which is weird because it feels short but long at the same time. What's interesting is I've noticed that most people will start like super excited and passionate about what it is that they do. And usually by the end of 3 years, they've completely shifted or given up or quit, or they suddenly like self-implode and say a ton of stuff that gets them into a lot of trouble. So the truth is, people are watching to see whether or not you're going to be consistent beyond that 3-year window, even if subconsciously they don't exactly know why. It's actually one of the reasons why I stopped hiring most people who are still in the first 3 years of their journey. I like to know that people have experienced some things and that they've dealt with challenges and adversity. Many times your clients and customers are waiting to hire you to see, does this person show up beyond the normal lifespan of other marketers and entrepreneurs? So this is really, really important to keep in mind. The last thing you want to do is hire someone and find out a month later and they're like, actually, I'm going out of business. I never liked this. Peace. Because that means a lot more work on your front. So marketing prediction number 7, frequency is something that we can tap into, meaning how often do I post? What is the volume of what I post? I personally use high volume, high frequency in order to gather data and feedback quickly. So if I have a bunch of theories about different messaging for content, I'm going to test them all pretty quickly so that, a week from now I can look at them all and see how they all performed. So I'm a big fan of actually not necessarily spacing things out, but rather dumping it all at once. And I'm going to share one interesting insight from platforms about this. A lot of times people will say like you have to space out your posts, but the truth is every single social media platform is what we call non-chronological. What that means, and most of us remember when these things happened across each and every platform, what it means is that not every single piece of content is seen. Not every single piece of content is going to be distributed by the platform, and they're certainly not going to show up in the order that they were posted. which is sometimes frustrating as a user, but as a marketer, business owner, influencer, we can actually use this to gather more data and feedback quickly. So if something performs pretty quickly in the first couple minutes of you posting it, there's a good chance it's going to keep growing. But you do not have to space out your content. Rather, you can just pump it all out. I always call it pump and dump as like a reference back to my child feeding days. So what's interesting though about that, oh my gosh, what's interesting about that is literally you'll be able to see within 24 or 48 hours which posts are performing well. And I like to just keep them all up. Some aren't going to work, and that's totally fine. I'd rather know faster. So frequency is something that you can use to gather data and feedback quickly in 2022. Probably 2023 and probably 2024, especially since most platforms are no longer on the chronological order. Number 8, I'm so personally excited about this one because I think they're the greatest thing ever. QR codes are making a comeback. We all saw this happening with the pandemic, especially in restaurants and stores. I love QR codes. They're so fantastic. We're actually going to be creating one in the next month because I'm so excited about the fact that they're coming back. So instead of business cards, you can simply hold up your QR code, let someone scan it, and at first it's going to seem a little bit weird until everybody's doing it. The truth is the pandemic paved the way for QR codes to be a thing. They are officially a thing. Number 9. Now this is a big one. I'm going to call myself out here. I have a prediction and I also have a self-critique. So let's just start with the prediction first. Accessibility is a must for marketing and product delivery. I'm going to give you guys a heads up. If you can start this as early on as possible in building your business and or marketing, fantastic. It's a lot bigger of a project the bigger you get if you don't do this from the get-go. It's kind of like paying taxes. It gets harder the bigger your business gets. It gets more complicated. So this is a Q3 project for us because every time that someone says, hey, this product is not accessible for the deaf or hard of hearing community, oh, my stomach sinks a little bit. So I have a self-critique there. We need to start really thinking about, rather, we immediately start thinking about how we can make sure that everything that we put out there is accessible to other communities. And so the truth is we are really taking this on starting in Q3 in a big way, but we've already started to add captions to most of what we do. So I want to remind you, don't make the mistake that I made and skip it in the beginning. Just start it from the get-go and it'll always be easy. It'll be second nature. Number 10, consumers are more savvy than ever. They have been ripped off, they have been scammed, they have fallen for hype marketing, etc. So I'm going to share a really interesting piece of context here. If you use hype in your marketing, you better back it with absolutely insane value that knocks people's socks off. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes people are like, ugh, I hate hype marketing, but yet we all fall for it time and time and time again. So it's okay to use hypey marketing as long as your product is fantastic. So if you talk a big game about it, it better really and truly blow most people away. Number 11, urgency and scarcity are not necessary the way that they were in the past. The truth is, you guys, most urgency and scarcity isn't real. And this is a really weird thing for me. When people say, I'm going to pretend like this training is live and the first 100 buyers, but really it's playing every single night as though it were live. That feels completely out of alignment for me. And I really and truly think that the people who do this need to be called out personally, privately over email because it's misleading, it's deceptive, and it's just not fair. So we've been really stepping back from urgency and scarcity and only using them when we're capping a product. So this is available until Thursday night at midnight, but it better be a hard stop then. Another example of this, the first 100 people, then you better really and truly cap it at 100 or else it's just simply not fair to others. Number 12, consumers can tell your intentions from each piece of marketing and production. They can tell from your post, they can tell from your email, they can tell from your video, they can tell from your product. Make sure that your intention is clear, meaning What is my goal with this? What is my intention? What is my desire? And get really clear. Is this for me or is this for them? Before you create each and every single thing in your business and or marketing. Because the truth is, people are getting to a place where when they feel a money grab, they're exhausted. I'm tired of it too, but I love when you feel someone's heart and you know this person really and truly cares the best that they know how. It's a fantastic feeling. And number 13, a convo with Daryl Eves, Mr. Beast's YouTube coach, confirmed what I already suspected. Daryl Eves actually shared a little bit with me about his backstory with TikTok, and I don't want to reveal all the details of that convo, but basically it confirmed what I suspected. TikTok is soon going to be even more prominent than it is now. This platform is going to become very, very, very influential, if it hasn't already, in a way that none of us really see coming. Got it? All right, I'm super curious. Let me know which of these 13 were your favorite. Which ones are you going to implement immediately? Are there any you disagree with? That's totally fine, as long as you keep it nice in the comments or in the feedback of this, or send me a message on Instagram. I'm so excited. I will catch you later. Bye for now.